also a police officer here in Toronto, Canada, Officer Bassey Osagie. You are welcome to NEBO TV, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. So we want you to introduce yourself a little bit to us and our audience who are watching today.
Well, my name is Bassey Osagie. Originally, I'm from Ohi in the local government area of Nigeria, Edo State, Nigeria. I grew up in New Benin until I moved down to Canada, did a little bit of high school in Canada, then went to York University. I have a degree in business administration. So following that, why towards the end of my time at York University, I became a court officer. That's the people responsible for security of judges. And people come there. Following that, about 20 years ago, I became a police officer with the Toronto Police Service.
20 years ago?
20 years ago, yes.
Oh, that's
I've been with Toronto Police for 22 years.
Oh, long time ago.
Yeah, for 22 years. So while in Toronto Police Service, I became a fourth class constable. And then moved through the rank. I was in the Street Violence Task Force. I was in the Homicide Squad as a detective constable. Then I was promoted to the rank of a sergeant in 2012. And then, since then, I was a road boss, the road supervisor in 12th Division, and I moved through different units to different organizations. And currently, I'm attached to 32nd Division, part of the management of a platoon. So which I have a group of officers working for me as we are responding to 911 calls.
Wonderful.
That's a current position with Toronto Police Service.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much.
We must commend your hard work. You are such an inspiration to every young man watching right now. Are you the only Edo person who is occupying this position here in Toronto as a police officer?
Yes, to my knowledge, I'm the only Edo born, even
immigrant
that is presently attached to that's working with Toronto Police Service. I'm not sure how posterity will judge me. I've been trying so hard to make sure I can get the young Benin Edo indigenous people on the job. I've been very successful in helping the Ghanaians, other Yorubas, and other Nigerians on the job. They have not been very successful at getting a Benin person. But I can assure you that I'm working on a couple of good candidates, good young people of Benin origin, who will be a good police officer. And over time, before I retire in a few years, we are going to have a young Benin people who will take over after me. But as far as I know, I'm the only Benin person. And not only that, I'm the highest ranking Nigerian-born police officer with Toronto Police, and also probably with the in Canada.
Congratulations, sir. We are looking forward to see another Edo person also becoming a police officer here in Toronto. Thank you, sir. You are such an inspiration. We must commend your hard work, because it's not easy, to be serving for 22 years as a police officer here in Toronto.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. So, today's discussion is about Black Lives Matter in the US and Canada. You are a Black police officer in Toronto. What is your position in this issue of a Black Lives Matter in the US, not America?
For me, Black Lives Matter is very important. I think over time, before George Floyd situation, people misunderstand that, like my white friends of mine would say, every life matters. But what they don't understand is that Black Lives Matter because we are the one that is being punished because of our skin. We are the one that is getting the brunt of the brutality from the police because of our skin. So Black Lives Matter in the sense that our life matter, because it seems from what you see every day on TV, from the actions from the police, it's like our life doesn't matter compared to the white people. Because what you see, there's the black people, they resent the police, not just because they don't like police, because of the disparity in the way police treat black people compared to how they treat white people. The police, especially in the US, don't get me wrong, Canada have some of their own problem. Especially in the US, I find that the police are too aggressive when they approach a black motorist or a black person. And I believe they don't act the same way when they treat white people. And that is the origin of Black Lives Matter. And until now, I believe people misunderstand that term. And I'm glad when you watch the protest.
Yes.
And in Canada, there are a lot of white people that are not saying Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
George Floyd murder it's a clear criminal case. He was criminally murdered by an officer. I'm not going to mention the officer's name because I don't want to glorify his behavior and to his name. He was clearly murdered. And for the first time, people have seen from the beginning to the end of a black man being murdered by the police. It's like when you were growing up in Nigeria and when you watch the what do you call that? When they shoot not the name. It's like when they shoot armed robbers, firing squad. It was almost like a firing squad because then you can see a man crying for his mom, a man crying for his kid, and then you can see as it unfolds as it passes on. And it's like when we used to watch people kill a guy like Anini, you watch them, and the process, and they eventually die. That's what happened. And that was devastating on me as an individual and on me as a police officer. The impact was great because you are watching a fellow black person killed by a police officer.
Well, sir, I don't want to cut you off. When you say police officer, we are talking about white police officers killing black men. This is not the first one, not the second. White police officers are killing black men in the US. Yes. Do you think this is embedded in racism or is just individual brutality?
I don't think it's just individual brutality. I believe it's embedded in the systemic racism. And also, it's individual in the sense that a lot of these white officers, remember, they grew up in maybe a white home where they are taught that black was inferior. And so when they encounter a black man, they treat them almost like inhuman. As a result, they don't respect them. And as a human being, the black man may be like I deserve some respect. So there's the conflict right there. So just because the white officer doesn't have the same respect he has for a fellow white person, so he escalates the situation, and then sometimes fatality occurs. I believe it's part of the culture of how they grew up. It's also part of the police culture in the US, the training, the militarization of the police, as if you're in a war zone. Policing is partnership with your community.
Yes.
Policing is working with your community on equal basis. It should never be about aggressiveness or fight. Even if someone commits an offense, make them understand the committed offense, make them understand that it's a job you got to do, and also make sure that the culture in the US is very bad. And then, like I said, Canada will have our own problem, but we are not as bad as the culture of the US.
Yes.
So talk about the Canadian experience, maybe if you are questions from you.
Yes, sir. So during the protest, the ongoing protest in the US, we saw white police officers and also black police officers also walking or protesting along the black people, not just black people, we're talking about both white and black, all of them were coming together to protest against incessant killings of black men by white police officers. So do you think that these police officers, white police officers who also joined the protest, are protesting against racism among few of their colleagues?
Sorry, I didn't get the last part of your question.
I said some white police officers also joined the protest against the incessant killings of black men by white police officers in the US. Did you watch the protests in the US? There are many white police officers who also join people to protest against their own colleagues who are killing blacks in the US. So do you think that these police officers, they are trying to resist some bad apples in within the police officers in the US?
Yeah, of course, because when you look at, like I said before, when you look at the video of George Floyd being killed, I say killed because I believe he intentionally killed him, being murdered by a police officer, we were all devastated. We were all calling each other and saying, what is going on? So those police officers that are taking a knee or are supporting the movement, or even our police chief, Mark Sanders, took a knee in solidarity with the protest.
Yes.
We are saying that what we are trying to say is that we do not support what the officer did. We do not support the murder of George Floyd. And we do not support the behavior of that officer. But we are trying to say that because we do not support, we are in solidarity with our community, the black people in our community, with the protesters, that we agree with you that what that officer did was criminal and was not the way to police. So yes, I support that. And if the opportunity comes to Tom, I will take part in that solidarity march and to express our dissatisfaction, our disapproval of the officer behavior. Most police officers, when I leave my house every day, I leave and go out there, try to help my community. I stop crime, I help people. Not to go there and kill people. And most officers are on the mindset that I have. So to watch George Floyd being killed, when you see the officers in Miami, in different cities in the US, taking a knee in solidarity with the protesters, it's a way of us telling you that we do not approve that behavior, that we do not approve this criminal behavior, that we're in solidarity with our community. And we are there with them to work out some crime in our community, but not to kill them.
Okay. Here in Toronto, not just in Toronto, we're talking about Canada as a whole. The police officers here also joining the protest in solidarity, just like what you just said now, protesting against few police officers who are also practicing this discrimination in terms of policy.
Yes. About 2 weeks ago, our chief of police, Chief Mark Sanders, who's a great man who have done a lot to help the police. He took a knee with one of our deputies, Shona Coxon, to show solidarity with the people, to show that our job is not to murder our people. Our job is not to kill. Our job is to protect our people. And to also show that what the officer did is not acceptable to us. And we in Toronto Police Service are doing everything possible. Like what really got me really upset about the killing of George Floyd was the 3 officers that were standing. That were standing while George was being murdered. And the first thing I did when I got to work, and I told people that work for me to say that you will not be that guy. You will not be that officer who stand there while a fellow human being being murdered.
Exactly.
And I can tell you that from what I get from my people that work for me and people that I work for, is that none of us should ever stand when a man with knee on his neck is being killed and nobody responds to it. So that is unacceptable to me as a police officer, as a human being, and trust me, that's unacceptable to the majority of police officers out there.
Yes, yes, yes. Because we saw the police officer standing by, just watching. Honestly, okay, sir. Let's move forward. You know, you are from Edo State. So we can't ignore where we come from, our
Yes.
states. We were born and raised in Edo State. Anything going on in Edo State will definitely impact us, despite that we are here in Canada, because we still maintain that tie with our homeland, Nigeria, Edo State. That is why we always intervene in any issue going on in the states. I know that you are already aware of what is going on recently, the political crisis in the state, and it's getting messy and messier every day. You saw that. So, what is your position in this issue of a APC crisis, the disqualification of a Governor Obaseki, the incumbent governor of his state was disqualified, and Adams Oshomole, because of this issue, Adams Oshomole was also suspended as the national chairman of APC, and they appointed active chairman 3 days ago, or 2 days ago. The acting chairman, according to what they said today, we are hearing some rumors that he's sick, is in the hospital. Some people even said that he's dead. So the whole issue is so crazy right now.
Okay. Anyway, the political situation in Benin City
Yes, sir.
is crazy,
Mm,
and I know police officers don't get involved into politics,
yeah.
but what is going on in Benin is beyond politics.
Ah,
Yeah, it's a situation where we are in danger because you know why the Benin leadership gave up their leadership position to I'll call him out to Oshomole 8 years ago. When Oshomole came to power 8 years ago when he became governor,
mm,
he was busy. He's very strategic. He's almost treating us like during the colonialization, where you divide and you conquer. We call it divide and rule. So when he came to Benin as the governor of those states, he made sure he destroyed the Benin leadership. He made sure that he demonized and then disrespect our elders. But we were clapping for him because a lot of our supposed elders were benefiting from it. Were some of those politicians who are hungry, who never have a real job in their life, who never work hard besides stealing our money. So he began to dismantle whatever leadership we have in Benin. He denounced our most, for me, arguably the more respected Benin man, Chief Gabriel Benedion. Disrespected him, we didn't say anything.
mm.
Went ahead, disrespected Ogbemudia, we didn't say anything. He went to Anene, Asian. Benin people would say, well, Anene is not one of us. We didn't say anything. But the guy was strategic in that for him to become an emperor in Edo State, for him to become a great leader in Edo State, he had to dismantle what we got. He was very successful. Then, on his departure from Benin politics, from Edo politics, he installed Obaseki, even with other people against it, because in his mind, he felt Obaseki wasn't for our own interests. He felt that Obaseki was Lagos business guy, close to the north, close to Yoruba people. He would not have our best interest, right? Excuse me. So because of that, he forcefully installed Obaseki. But what he forgot was that we are Benin people. We are Edo people. Most of us, majority of Edo people, have the blood of the queens and kings that flow in our veins.
Yes, yes,
Flow in our vein.
yes.
We may not always agree with each other,
Mm,
but we know how to fight a common enemy.
yes.
So what happened was that he installed Obaseki. Obaseki came to power, and then he was surprised. Not only that he installed Bassey, he makes sure he gave Obaseki a deputy that can always report back to him, that can be in his eye.
Yes.
I'm talking about this based on my police investigative.
Like a watchdog for Obaseki.
Like a watchdog for Obaseki. So he did that. But as Obaseki came on board, being a true Benin man, being a true Edo person, when you look at it, I've been in Canada for over 25 years. But you look at what I do, you look at everything, I'm still very much Edo. And I speak my language fluently. I still believe in everything we do. So Obaseki went back to be a true Benin man, decided not to take instruction from Obaseki, from Shomole. But you know the smart thing Shomole did? He then went in the middle, took some Edo leadership against the other, took the ones that are very greedy. Some of them from my local government. I told you I was from Uhonde local government. Some of the guys, the great advocates, people condemning Oshomole, are people that represented my community, Uhonde, for 12 years. All they did was to line their pocket, make money for themselves. They are the same guys coming today to condemn Obaseki. And I can mention their name, but they know who they are. They represented us in the House of Assembly, represented us in the House of Rep, but did nothing for us. I'm from Uhi local. I'm from Uhi. They did not fit our school. They did not give us medical center. They did not do anything for us. Presently, the people of Uhi are contributing money to build us a school and medical center. And these are the same guys that are coming on TV to say Obaseki is bad. So what Oshomole did right in his evil mind was to go between us, take those greedy politicians, those people that are wicked, those people that never have a real job in their life, put them as EPM or whatever they call them, and some retired Agberos, and then fight against other people. So he eventually got us to butt head. You know why? Because so long as the Benin people continue to fight each other, so long as the Benin people are not united, Shomole become the emperor. What my appeal to other Benin people is this. Oviedo pataki mahin. Edo where ayore ovemugie ogari wa ovemugie egari. What that means is that you don't bring a foreigner to your midst to become the head. Because at the end of the day, when he pass on, Oshomole is going to be buried among his people. He's going to be living among his people. Oshomole doesn't have a big house in Benin. He has them in his village in Auchi. Oshomole have a big school in Auchi, not Benin. So he's not one of us. And we should never allow someone that does not represent us, that does not represent our cultural heritage, to come in between us and divide us. What I'm appealing to the Edo in diaspora and those who are back home is that we are Benin people, we are Edo people. Our priority is to preserve our heritage. We've got a rich culture to preserve, and people are envious. People are jealous. People like Oshomole knows that unless he dismantle our people, unless he denounce them, unless he disrespect them, he will never be great. We have to rally around Obaseki. Don't get me wrong. I don't agree with everything Obaseki does.
He can never be perfect. We are not expecting him to be perfect.
He can never be perfect. There's some issues I don't agree with Obaseki on. People say, well, Obaseki never empowered Benin people. He always go to Lagos every weekend. You know the problem, madam, is that same people in Benin that are complaining now, if Obaseki call you today and make you his communication director, the people in Benin will complain the selfish leadership, not the regular people, will complain because they will say, why did you bring somebody from Canada? They fail to realize that your exposure, your experience is different from their experience. They fail to realize that you and me are exposed to a greater, more sophisticated, more civilized lifestyle. The thing is that I have been on the system for over 22 years. You cannot compare my experience with the typical Nigerian, what is it, journal. You have been in the game, communication, do TV. You can't compare you with experience with. So the same people will not accept you if Osagie appoint you. These same people are complaining that Osagie is bringing people from Lagos. There's no credibility to that, because if bringing somebody from Lagos is going to help us, so be it. But at the same time, I support Osagie should empower our people and make us grow, and then empower the local community in doing businesses. But at the same time, our job, like I said, to preserve our heritage, which is nobody in the world have that. We were the only kingdom that resisted colonization.
Yes.
We are great people. We are beneath people.
Yes.
Sometimes when I'm at work, most of the people that work for me, they come to me and say, boss, why are you you walk around here like you get. I said, look, guys, I am from Benin Kingdom.
Yes.
We were the only people that defeated the white man in the colonization of Africa. So now what the diaspora we have to do? Because the Beninese have more people in diaspora than any other group in Nigeria.
Yes.
We transfer over millions of dollars to Benin every time. We have to support Osagie in preserving our culture from somebody else, from an intruder. I call the Shomole intruder. This is supported by some selfish, wicked, and corrupt politicians. And another thing we have to tell Osagie, our brother, it is his duty to empower our people, to empower our youth, give them economic development, and ensure the safety of our community. We cannot develop, we cannot have economic sustainability unless we have safety of people in our community. Without safety, without a good law enforcement, effective policing, efficient policing, there will be no economic development. When there's no economic development, there will be no peace, there will be no happiness, and we cannot grow. So we need to support him, regardless of whether you're APC, PDP, or whatever you are. We have to support our brother, our son, against a common enemy, Oshomole, against being supported by some greedy people from our community, by people that think about their pockets. Because you know why? If we don't support Osagie, the alternative is bad. The alternative are people we have experienced before. They have no credentials. They never have a real job in their life. They are dirty. They are corrupt. And they don't wish us well. That's why we have to support Osagie for those Benin Edo people in diaspora.
Yeah.
For those with PVC, I said go home during election and vote. For those without PVC, support with your money, support with everything. As for me, I will be home during that election, and I will be voting. I'll be supporting someone who have demonstrated the ability, intelligence to uplift our people instead of their selfish end. And we have to make sure we support Osagie. In his second term, 3 years is not good enough for him to do his job. He needs another 4 years. He needs 8 years. Then, once we can dismantle the likes of Oshomole and his puppet, then we'll be able to move on. One thing I'm going to add is, personally, I as a true Oviedo Pataki, Oviedo Mahin, Oba Atokwe, as a true Benin person, I do not support And I do not encourage, I do not tolerate people that go out there to celebrate and demonize Godwin Obaseki because he was disqualified. And people on Facebook, people like Iran Amigo, I don't know, I can't say, like Iran Amigo, that go out there talk like a Nolan to disrespect our governor, talk like he's mentally ill. The sad thing about Iran Amigo is that I heard he live in the US. And that's very, very disrespectful. That is very disheartening to see a guy that live in this part of the world to talk so like primitive, to talk so rude,
Uncivilized.
very uncivilized. And I will mention one more name, which people will not be surprised. A guy like Kabaka, Tony Kabaka. I do not appreciate him going on TV, dancing, and cussing out our governor. In Benin, we respect our elders. We do not disrespect people that come before us. For him to be going out there dancing and disrespect our governor is unacceptable. And it should be unacceptable to any Benin person. We can resolve our problem within us. We can tell Obaseki what he's doing wrong. We can talk to him, but we should never go publicly to disrespect him and dance around and rain insults on an elderly person. That I disapprove. And that every Benin person should disapprove. But one more, the last thing I'm going to say before I go,
Yes, sir.
and I don't know how long this is going to take, is that I would like to appeal to the Benin people, people that are born or raised in Benin, those one in law enforcement, those one in policing, those one in military, in all of North America and Europe. I would like them to get in touch with me. It's easy to find me. It's Bassey Osagie. You can reach me on Facebook, on my Twitter, or my Instagram. I want us, we in law enforcement, to unite together because I made some mistake in the past, and we admit to that mistake. Some of these people that are responsible for destroying us in Nigeria, they come to the US, they come to Canada, they buy houses, they put their children in good schools over here, and we go to their houses, drink Hennessy, drink Heineken, and celebrate with them. We're going to stop that. We are going to stop that narrative. We are going to start questioning their wealth and the origin of their wealth. So when you see a big Nigerian guy coming to Canada to buy a big house, going to California, I know there's some of our ex politicians, they put their children in good schools over here, and we go to their houses, drink Hennessy, drink Heineken, and celebrate with them. We're going to stop that. We are going to stop that narrative. We are going to start questioning their wealth and the origin of their wealth. So when you see a big Nigerian guy coming to Canada to buy a big house, going to California, I know there's some of our ex politicians. So what I'm saying is that we have to unite to fight common enemy. The common enemy, people that are destabilizing our state, people that are making sure our state is stable and deprive our people of economic development, stealing our money, and want us in diaspora to work together to reject them when they come here. I know a lot of them, we know a lot of them here, they have their wife and children here enjoying the good government of Canada and the US, while they are destroying our people. I'm appealing to those in diaspora to start rejecting them. I am not proud of what I've done in the past. I like accommodating these people, not calling them out. But we are going to start calling them out. I want other Edo people in the North America and Europe that are in law enforcement to join me so that we can pull our resources together and begin to send these people home and begin to get them parking and so that they can fix our country. So the idea of Benin people supporting people we know are cultists, People will know are involved in cultism. People will know that are involved in corrupt. And people that are corrupt. And we want to make them as alternative for Bassey. It's appalling. We should all reject it and support our brother in any way. Whatever difference we have with him, we will resolve that. For now, let's support him. Let's put our resources together. Let's make sure we fight a common enemy like Oshomole and his puppets within our crown. The diaspora, I believe in the past, we have not done enough to be really aggressive about our position. Even a guy like me with my position, I've not really used it to really in terms of fight the corruption practice and all that. I just kind of keep it to myself and improve my career. But moving forward, those things, for me, that is going to change. Yamu is not an alternative to Osagie. Samson Osagie from my community is not an alternative because he served us for 12 years with nothing to show for it. And the rest of the other clowns that are collecting form to fight in APC, they are no alternative for us. These are people that we have seen, that have proven that they are not good people. People complain about Lucky Benedion during his time. Lucky Benedion, yes, I believe Lucky is a good person. I believe he's a good human being, but he was not prepared for the job. And someone like Yamu was there with him, and he was part of the gang. He had his time as the chief of staff to Lucky. He had his time as secretary to the state government in Edo State, and he screwed up. We should not allow him a second chance, except he can prove to me that since the screw up in 1999, what has he done to develop himself? What has he done to empower himself to show to us that he's a repentant, that he has changed his ways, that he has now learned something new? Same with Samson Osagie from my community. He did nothing for us. And the other guy is former deputy chief Odubu. Odubu was representing Wonde and Orion for 8 years as a House of Rep. He was also a member. He was also deputy governor of Edo State with nothing to show for it. We cannot give these people a chance. I don't have anything against them. I know I'm a policeman. For me, this is not about politics. I'm not getting myself involved in politics. But what I'm saying is that the safety, the economic development of my people is very important. As a police officer, I know when my people are not empowered economically, there's going to be room for crime. Our people are going to get killed. They're going to be fighting. That's going to be more problem for the police. And we need to move to a new direction. Let's support Bassey. Let him finish his term. Within the next 4 years, we will decide and we'll come up with a new form of leadership. But we cannot go back to our old ways.
So the last question for you, sir. As a police officer here, your experience as a community policing, how have you been impacting your state and those states over these years?
Well, I'm always available when they need me. Last September, I was invited by University of Benin to talk about the insurgency and the economic development in our country. How security or lack of security can impact. So I participate and I talk to officers in those terms, and I'm always available. But I've always said that when they are ready, they will call. Like the people on ground in Nigeria and Benin, they can pick your brain and ask you questions, but they are not ready for us to join them to fix the state. When they are ready, I'll be ready. For now, they are not ready. Even our Bassey, like I said, I don't agree with everything he's doing. I'm not sure how he's coordinating security, but I talked to some people that are close to him. I don't know him personally. He has never asked me for any favor. But if I'm asked to support my people in imparting my knowledge, in imparting my community policing, I'm considered community policing expert because in Canada, before my present position, I was in charge of consultative committee. I was in charge of community aspect, community policing aspect of Toronto Police. So I have that experience. But like I said, I have been involved in talking, but they have not asked to put it in practice. And when they do ask, I'll be ready to support it to help our people.
Okay. You can only support by working with the government, the state government, right?
Yes. But the problem in Nigeria in terms of my contribution is that the state government doesn't control the police.
Yes, under federal.
Under federal. But the state government, like when you go to Benin, when you go those states, you go to New Benin and go to Ring Road, and you see this so disorganized. But sometimes I think I'm like, how I wish they can just come here to get some advice on how to fix those issues, how to fix those problems, which may not cost them anything. Or they have to write to Toronto Police Service for assistance, and we'll provide the assistance without even paying for it. So we're hoping as we move past and Godwin is moving forward and we're able to get new leadership, these things will materialize and become a better state.
Governor Osagie implemented a state security called Bassey.
Okay.
Do you think they can police the states? Community policy, they can provide more security?
I don't, first of all, people talk about, it's a long debate, but I will be quick. State policing is problematic, it's complicated for Nigeria. State policing is the ideal, but the problem is we are not that sophisticated yet. I believe for state police to work, the federal police have to be effective and efficient. The federal police have to be doing the right things. And that way, the state police will be efficient. The idea of state police or what Governor Bassey is doing is the ideal because policing issue is localized. Policing issues start from the bottom up. You don't police from Abuja. You don't train people in Abuja and expect them to do a good job in Benin. You have to pick the people on ground in Benin. You have to train them in Benin to make policing effective. So what they are doing is good. What Osagie is doing is good. But they have to find kind of legislative framework to make sure that type of law enforcement is legal. If it's legal, if they can find a way to make it legal, that is the future of community safety in Nigeria. At the end of the day, policing is about ensuring the safety of your people for their own well-being. So the localized approach or the state approach, like Omoteku and the one being done by those states, the best idea of policing, if they can get the legal backing. The Constitution of Nigeria is very complicated. So they're going to have to find a way to make it legal. Once it's legal, once they can operationalize it, it will become the best form of law enforcement to ensure the safety of our people and general well-being of our community. Because in Nigeria, the Constitution says you can only have one police force. You cannot have two. But there's a way around that. You can, just like in Nigeria, you can only have one police force, but you have the federal road safety created by the federal government. You also have the civil defense created by the federal government. So the same way the federal government was smart to create those organizations, the state government can do the same and find a way to give it some legal backing. But at the end of the day, like I said, policing, ensuring the people are safe is a local issue. and should be addressed locally, not from the federal government. So the governor has to be smart about it. And we can have that discussion in the future. But they got to be smart about it. But that's the future. That's the direction for the future.
Okay. Thank you, sir. If you have any other thing to add to this discussion, you can go ahead and add. Otherwise, I think I'm done with my questions.
Well, I just want to say I wish you thank you so much for what you are doing. Not everyone is bold or strong enough to do what we do.
Yes,
like you go out there, you represent you people don't realize it. We're in a country where the environment is hostile to us. It's hostile to us. We got to fight 3 times more than an average white person. For you to have a show like this, you got to fight twice. But we work hard, and we are where we are today. But the people at home don't realize it. We're in the battleground, we're in the battlefield, try to survive. And they should not underestimate our experience and our contribution. And it is time for the people at home to get off their high horses, think they know it all, to seek advice from Nigeria, Edo people in diaspora. And secondly, for us in diaspora, to realize that we cannot hide behind Facebook. We cannot just do what we are doing now without going home. We got to go home. We have to provide alternative to the corrupt system. We have to provide alternative to these Yamos.
That is what we are doing, sir.
That's what we have to provide alternative to it. If we do not provide alternative to it, the people back home will just see us like social media warriors. Like we just on social media, we don't know. We need to start going home to create an impact in the economic development of our state. We need to start going home and take the risk. Most of the people at home think that we're afraid. People will call me and say, you're just talking on TV. You can't go to Benin. I go to Benin, I go to Nigeria once or twice every year. I'm not afraid of them. We are not afraid of them.
Me too.
They are not bolder than us. They are not more aggressive than us. Violence is not exclusive to anybody. We choose the civilized way to approach it. Doesn't mean we are weak. Doesn't mean we cannot do what they do. So my advice is that let the Benin diaspora get more active. There are few people among us in diaspora because they want to rush to go back home, because they don't have anything to fall back on here. They kiss up to the people in power in Benin, in Nigeria, and they accept these people that they know that are corrupt. Let's uphold our integrity. Let's practice what we have learned here in Canada. Let's take it back home. If you don't have anything to offer, stay and support those that have something to offer. Don't make it up. Don't fake it. Let's help our people in a very practical way, in a way that is sustainable, not in a way that we are looking for. Okay, for me, I gotta be honest with you. If I want to be selfish, I would benefit more from those people that are on our Shomoles camp because I know them. But I'm not going for that. We have to stand for our community. We have to support our community, and we have to do what is right. I'm not going to wear this uniform forever. I'm not going to be here for more next 5, 7, 8 years. I'm retired. I'm hoping a younger Benin person will take over from me, and so that we can make our state better. So, in conclusion, I say that let's all be honest. Don't support people because of your selfish interest. Let's work for the common good of the Benin people. We are Edo people. We are very proud of who we are. Let's preserve our heritage. Let's not disgrace ourselves. Let's not talk down on each other because of the little change. Someone is going to crumbs that's going to put on our table. Because someone is already a billionaire. You can't change that. So let's work for the common good of the Edo people.
His billions can be reformed. It can be
yeah, it can be refunded. It can be refunded. So then now you brought me to a different argument. I believe our brother Osagie, he should grow some balls, just the way we call it here in Toronto. Let him grow some balls and fight. Let him take some playbook from Wiki of River State. Let him be bold and fight these people. I believe they are fighting him because they believe he's civilized, a gentleman. This is not time to be gentle. Let him take them on.
Yes.
Let him fight. Will the Edo people will support him?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We are very honored to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for approving our request for this show. Thank you and God bless.
Thanks. I am reading the comment. They can say anything they want. The one thing they will never take from us is that you are in a foreign country. I'm in a foreign country. We have been able to make it and stand out from millions and thousands of people. We have been able to achieve something in the midst of the hostility, in the midst of the white people, and we should be very proud of who we are.
Yeah, yes.
People at home, they may not realize what we have to go through to be where we are, but we don't need to prove anything to them. So thank you. Keep doing what you do. I will continue to support you.
Thank you, sir.
For the initiative from our community.
Thank you.
And if I have to do what I have to do with what God has blessed me with, I would do it.
Thank you, sir.